Hey guys, Richard from ProCalc. Today we're going to be talking about the sort of builder personality type that you have or where you're at in your building career. So when we interviewed hundreds of builders, what we found was that they're going through different stages in their career, and each stage represents a new opportunity or different rewards and different risks that come into play. So what we're going to do today is just step through some of the personality types, or that journey, if you like, that a builder goes through as they mature. So the first one that we've got here is what we call the lean green building machine. And so this guy is one who might have had their builder's ticket for maybe less than a couple of years. They're on site, they're working on site during the day, they work possibly with a couple of mates who they've worked with before. And what they do is they go to work their backsides off, then go home, and then, obviously then got to do the invoicing and all the paperwork and all that sort of thing. They're pretty much doing everything themselves. So the opportunities that exist for the lean green building machines are really one whereby they have an opportunity to find their niche, so really targeted on a specific market and a specific type of project, but also to look beyond friends and family for work. So obviously, when in the early days, and we've all done it, we reach out to everyone we know and say, "Hey, we're now builders. Let's find some work for us." And the other thing that they need to do is actually develop some successful marketing channels, and they don't have to be sophisticated. They just have to be reliable. Some of the key risks that an early builder faces are really things around cash flow, mainly due to their lack of business experience. So they've got to make sure that you're always topping up the money that's coming in, because there's always money going out. And that they have very few business systems in place. So at the moment, in this stage of their career, they're really sort of relying on their own wits to run the business and make it all work. And so that there aren't a lot of business systems in place. The other thing that can often happen is that they also will often underquote, because they're not yet fully informed about how to quote jobs, but they're also looking to be very competitive for the sake of winning that work. So there's always a risk of underquoting when you're at that stage. The next stage is the growth monster. Okay, now you might be familiar with this sort of builder's business, because the growth monster is looking to grow at all costs. And another way to describe this person is almost scale or fail. Okay, and so what they're trying to do is grow everything. So it be their revenues, their marketing, their team, the number of projects, everything. And that does introduce some massive risks. And in fact, the growth monster is probably at the riskiest stage of their building career. So for that reason, it's really important that they embrace a good set of business systems. And so everything from the way that you invoice, to the way that you market, to the way that you the way that you pay your subbies, to all sorts of things. So really embrace those systems, and also make sure that you embrace technology. So if you can insert technology into your process rather than relying on people to do particular things, it just makes it more predictable, and it's probably lower cost as well. The other thing is that there's a real opportunity for the growth monster to invest in themselves, and so taking on training or mentoring from a business coach who focuses purely on builders, and that's their specialty, then that's going to really help them avoid some of the huge pitfalls that exist for growth monsters, because it is that scale or fail mentality, which is a really dangerous place for a builder to live. So the other risks, obviously, growing without systems, not being particularly focused in what you're trying to do, and again, underquoting. As your business grows and as you scale, what will happen is that you will really find that a lot of those costs that you have for running your business, they grow. So you need to increase your pricing to do that. The next that we have there is a cash cow. And so obviously a cash cow is far more mature business, and their opportunities relate to, and these are really people who have successfully gone through that growth monster phase. So they've got some business coaching, they've actually managed to eliminate some of the dramas, or many of the dramas that happen when you're scaling, and now they've become cash cows. And so these guys are now making a good dollar out of their building business. So they're focused on cutting down costs, and they're doubling down on the system development. So really working hard to make their systems mature and robust. And they target a very specific market with a very specific product. So they specialize in things. Their risks are mainly project risks or economic risks. So if there are changes in the economy, then that affects them. But they've managed to eliminate a lot of the other risks from their business. And then finally, we've got the granddad developer, and the granddad developer is really somebody who's really focused on their own developments and is really wanting to just create their own future wealth. And so their main risks are really about failed developments through poor feasibility or poor cash flow analysis. And the other risk that they have is also about their own health. So as we all get older, we need to look after our health. And so some of the older builders do need to look after their own health quite a bit. Now, a lot of these risks that builders have that relate to how much they charge and underquoting and feasibility of projects and all that sort of thing, they're actually things that we build into our numbers at ProCalc. So if you're any of these builders, then it certainly would be of benefit to you to give ProCalc a free trial, give it a blast for 14 days, and then you can see how it can enhance your business and help you move to the next stage of your development. You can do that at procalc.com.au. Thanks, and have a good day.